Okay, let's retry this. um, but yeah, I'm not sure if you guys heard on the news or anything by now, but if you've been living under a rock and you don't know, it seems that Hillary Clinton is going to be making her official announcement and candidacy for President of the United States for next year's election. And you you think she would learn. Now, let me make something perfectly clear. I have nothing against a woman president. I think it would be a great historical moment. It would be a moment in time. It would be a moment that would live in infamy. A moment that people, years from now, hundreds, 100 years from now, thousands of years from now, if we're still around, if the rapture hasn't come by then, that people will look back on and say, that was a historical moment. They'll look back at the 2010s decade and say that was the moment history was made in the United States. That's the moment they got the first female president, the first female leader of the country. And again, I have nothing against that. If God has a reason for her doing it and her being there, so be it. Maybe she might prove us all wrong. Maybe Hillary will be the one president that finally rights the wrongs that every other president committed. But then again, maybe she'll be the kind of president that will be for certain things that a majority of the country is against. But here's my question. As exciting as this might be for any Hillary Clinton supporters, you got to ask yourself this question. Is she really ready? Is she truly sure about what she's doing? I mean, like I said, if God has a reason for her doing this, then he has a reason. It's like my mom said, God had a reason for for Obama being in there twice, being in the White House twice, so if he has a reason for her being there, so be it. But has she herself and has her campaign team really thought about this? Thoroughly thought about this? True, they can come out and say she's grown since the last time she's tried. That she's not so cocky and confident anymore. She's wiser. She's learned her lessons. Well, despite all that, is she truly ready? Has she truly learned her lessons? Is she truly wiser? I look at it this way. Only time will tell. But I want people to look at it. I want people to realize this. I want them to ask themselves this. Does she have any idea what she's in store for? Especially with everything that's come out about her over the past few months, if not the past half a year. And if not the past few years, is she truly ready for what the Republican nominees and ultimately the Republican nominee has in store for her? Is she truly ready for those fellow Democrats that want to get that nomination as bad as she does? Does she have any idea? Is she ready for what they're about to unleash? Along, like I said, with the Republican nominees that want that nomination? Does she have any? Is she and her team really ready for this? Is she willing? Is she ready to have the closet opened, if you will? Because she's got baggage from not just the past few months, but from the past few years. And if not the past 20 years. Because if you don't think some of the Republicans, and ultimately that Republican that gets the nomination for the Republican side, and the Democrats that want that nomination as much as she does, do you not think they're not going to remind people of what happened the last time a Clinton was president of the United States? Do you think they're not going to bring up what her husband did? Do you think they're not going to bring up what she's done over the past few months, the past few years? Stuff that's been talked about on the news from the situation with the email and stuff like that? Do they have any idea of what they'll be in store for? Does she have any idea herself what she's going to be in store for? You know, like I said, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against her running for president. If God has a reason for her doing it, God has a reason for her doing it. But is she truly ready? That's what she's got to ask herself. That's what her campaign team has to ask. Are they truly ready for what both sides are going to give them? What the Republican nominees, what the Republicans that want that nomination for the Republican side have in store for her? What her fellow Democrats that want the nomination as much as she does, what they have in store for her? Is she truly ready for what will be unleashed? Is she truly ready for what will come her way? Is she truly ready for that? I don't think she is. I really don't. And maybe I'm wrong. But in my honest opinion, I don't think she's really ready. I think, once again, she's going with that hype train of trying to make history. Going with that hype train of trying to make that historic march to become the First Lady President. And again, like I said, I have nothing against that. I have nothing against a lady president, a female president. I have nothing against it. But here's my honest opinion. If I was to pick two Democratic women, or if I was to pick a Democratic woman to be the First Lady President, believe it or not, I would pick the current president's wife. I would pick Michelle Obama to be the First Lady President than I would Hillary Clinton. That's the honest truth, because I look at Michelle Obama, and whether you like her or you don't like her, or whether you like her husband or you don't like her husband, you have to admit that she seems more ready to be a leader for this country than I think Hillary is. I think Hillary is, once again, her and her team are going through the hypeness. They're going through that hypeness once again, and if they're not careful, it's going to burn them again. Now, you can have all the news stations come out and say that she's probably a strong lock, that she's just an automatic lock to get the Democratic nomination for the chance to be president. And she probably is, but you cannot judge so early. Because like I said, is she truly ready? Is she and her team truly ready for what the Democrats that want that nomination as well, the other Democrats, have in store for her? And is she truly ready for what the Republicans that want the Republican nomination have in store for her? And ultimately, whoever gets that Republican nomination has in store for her. Is she truly ready? Again, I don't think she is. Maybe I'm wrong, but if she's truly ready, then why doesn't she just come out and do a press conference on the news, on places like CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, HLN, why doesn't she just come out there, Fox News, whatever, why doesn't she just come out with a press conference and announce the nomination there? Why does she have to go through social media? What? So she can be hip? So she can be with it? She can be current? She can appeal to this current generation and say, hey, I'm with you. I'm all about you. Honestly, if she's truly ready, okay. I have nothing against her going the social route, the social media route. If she wants to do that, fine. But if I was her, and I'm truly ready to take this step, I would not just go this route, but I would go do a big press conference with all the media coverage so that they would know I'm ready. I'm ready for business. And if I'm her, I would come out in that press conference, officially, in front of the world, announcing my nomination. And I would also come out and I would challenge all the Democratic nominees. all the Republican nominees and all the independent nominees and Tea Party nominees, I would come out and say, hit me with your best shot. Throw whatever dirt you can at me. Throw whatever baggage you think I have at me. I'm here to tell you that I am ready for it this time. I am ready for whatever you got. Whatever you got, throw it at me. I am ready. That's what I would do if I was her. I wouldn't just go with social media. Because you know, as well as I do, there will be other Democratic nominees and other Republican nominees that are going to attack her about that. They're going to go after her because of that and say that she didn't have the courage to go in front of the world publicly in a press conference or whatever, like everybody else does, and announce her candidacy. She didn't do it. Instead, she does it on social media at 9 a.m. in the morning, Pacific time. Now, if that's her choice, fine. I can respect that. But you know as well as I do, there's going to be a lot of other independent, Tea Party, Republican, and Democratic nominees that are going to go after her because of this. And does she have any idea what will happen? Does she have any idea what will happen if she does indeed get that Democratic nomination and she goes up against whoever gets the Republican nomination? Does she have any idea what they're going to be ready to throw her way? And let's not forget, one of the Republicans that's up for that Republican nomination is a Bush. And if we take a look at our past history, a Bush is 4-0 in elections. George Bush Sr. on his inaugural election and re-election. Junior, inaugural election, re-election. 4-0. And now you got another Bush in their family going for it as well. Could we be looking at 5-0? And she's 0-1. And she's going to go up against not only probably other Democrat nominees that might be more qualified than she is, probably have more of a success rate at elections than she does, as well as against Republican nominees that probably have the same thing, with the possibility that if she gets that Democratic nomination and Bush gets that Republican nomination, that she's going to be 0-1 against 4-0. Does she have any idea what she's in store for? Does her team have any idea? Again, if God has a reason for her going and becoming the First Lady President, He has a reason for her being there. And if His reason is for her to be the president that rights the wrongs that other previous presidents have done, including this current one, then so be it. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. And like I said, do not think for one moment that every nominee, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Tea Party, is not going to throw every piece of dirt they have about her and her family at her face. That they're not going to throw what her husband did when he was president twice in her face. That, what she has done in the past few months, in the past few years, they're not going to throw that in her face because they are. Now, from a family standpoint, Clinton-wise, from a Clinton family standpoint, they are 2-1 overall. And they're going up against a possibility of a Bush whose family is 4-0. So the question we now have is she truly prepared? Is her team truly prepared? Are they ready for whatever comes their way? Let me say this. She better be, and they better be. Because if God decides that it's their time to go into the White House, that it's her time to make history and become the First Lady President for this country, then she better be ready for what's in store. And like I said earlier, if I'm her, instead of just doing social media, I later on, either that day or maybe the next day, I come out with a press conference in front of the world and I say, whoever you are, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or Tea Party, I am ready for you. Throw whatever you want at me. Throw whatever dirt, whatever baggage you think I have, throw whatever you can at me. I'm ready for you. Because you know what? She's going to have to be ready, because this will probably be the biggest challenge she deals with. Because you think she's not prepared? She's not ready? She's not wiser than what she was the last time she tried this? There's a lot of Republican nominees and Democratic nominees, Independent, Tea Party nominees that are also prepared. They've seen what she did last time and they're ready for her this time as well. So she better be ready. She better have her fist up and ready to fight. Because she's going to be in for a heck of a battle. And like I said, if God has a reason for her doing it, He has a reason for her doing it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Hillary Clinton is making the right decision? And do you think she's ready? Do you think this is her time? Or do you think she's just riding that hype train again, just like before? Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'll talk to y'all later.